Hello everyone.
Welcome, Your Highness.
Thank you very much.
I've never had this opportunity to have a king on stage. I'm pretty thrilled. It's the first for me.
Okay, well, I hope I live up to expectations.
I think so. All right. I've already gave them the heads up. There's certain things we're not going to bother with. But you, sir, had an incredible season premiere of House of the Dragon. Anybody watch it? If you didn't watch it, you might get some spoilers in, so you've been warned. Now that the season 2 premiere has aired, what's your mindset? I assume there's maybe a little bit of relief after having filmed these episodes like forever ago.
Yeah.
But what are you feeling right now that the season has finally taken place?
It's good. It feels like we've waited a long enough time now to get the show out there and to share it with everyone. It takes a long time to make something like this. So yeah, it's good to get it out there.
Your performance is incredible. You guys like it? Again, spoilers, but you guys had a chance, okay? It was almost a week ago. Let's see here. You, as King Aegon, you're sort of getting your feet wet, right? You're going through the process, you're going through your kingly duties, and he does not yet have a firm hand with the people, but he is pretty confident whenever someone's talking to him about being in a war with the Blacks. Tell us about maybe your approach, the collaboration between you and the showrunners on just this first episode, and how we're kind of setting the stage for King Aegon.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a trap to fall into when you play someone like Aegon, who is on paper villainous and problematic and all those things. Not denying that for 1 minute, because I think he is those things. But the challenge is, from the actor's point of view, is to try and bring different colours to the palette and make him more layered and show that he is an empath at the end of the day. He's capable of things like love and grief and desire and all those things, you know. And yeah, that's what I found interesting this season, is to dive into that a little bit rather than just playing a cold villain, because I don't think it's as black and white as that.
Is there a part of your character that's actually trying to do what he thinks his dad would do? Because his dad was mostly fair.
Yeah, I mean, Viserys was the only example really he had of a male leader who was loved and respected by many people, you know. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious to Aegon as time goes on that he's not his father, and he needs to play towards his own strengths. And he's working out what those strengths are. Yeah.
I just love it. I love that it's such a different, and you kind of see the arc creating. Like, this is just the beginning. And again, if you've seen episode 1, his demeanor is going to change drastically for the rest of the season, and I cannot wait to see kind of what happens with that. We're not going to touch any of that right now. There was something that one of your showrunners said, Alan Taylor. He said that you had this ability to find humor in unexpected places. And what do you think is the root of this searching for comedic moments in the script where maybe there was no intention to have any?
That's very nice of Alan to say. I don't think I intentionally looked for them, to be honest.
You're just naturally funny.
I'm hilarious. No, I feel like I find Aegon quite funny a lot of the time. I find him impulsive and erratic and unpredictable, and just those moments, he really lends himself to being very loose as an actor on set and to kind of throw a lot at the wall to see what sticks. And those moments of sort of levity or humour come from just going in with a bit of a bold choice and seeing if it works or not.
Did they give you any notes, or did they like kind of tell you like that's really interesting? Let's keep going along that route.
Yeah, I mean the whole team is so collaborative, and they trusted me a lot with my decisions with Aegon. There were times where we worked together to sort of steer it in a certain direction, or if we needed to amp up a moment or dial it down. There's a lot of discussions about that, but yeah, I think just with the nature of him, how much of a wild card he is, I was kind of allowed to let loose.
I love that because good showrunners, good directors, you've worked with a number of them already. Christopher Nolan, anybody? I feel like they want the artist, because you guys are artists, to create, to feel comfortable, and bring something to it.
Yeah.
I think Ernie Hudson was just up here before you, and he had told a story about Jason Reitman, who allows for that same collaborative process. You don't want someone to just do what's on the paper, but let them have this creative space, and I think that's always elevated scenes from time to time.
Totally, yeah, just to be allowed that freedom. And at the end of the day, filmmakers, TV creatives, people in the industry who give actors opportunities need to realise they're not hiring robots, they're hiring people with their own artistic integrity and taste. And, you know, the more you let that come through, often it sort of helps the process more.
I agree. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm a sucker for good audition stories, so I hope you have one. Go back to House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
What was your audition experience like? Did you like it? Was it stressful? Was it serendipitous? Some magic thing happened to where it got you this role?
It's a good question. To be honest, it might be anticlimactic for you, this one, but it was the quickest audition process I've ever had for any of the projects I've worked on.
Wow.
And I didn't know what the project was. No one would tell me what it was. There was just some dummy script that I had to put myself on tape for. And the casting director, Kate Rowe James, apparently had only pitched me for the role, and don't know why. And the showrunners watched the tape the day after, and I got on a call with them, and then they offered me the role. So it was kind of like that.
Clearly you had a kingly presence about you.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's probably the opposite. That's why they were like, oh, okay, maybe.
I still like the audition story because it was quick. They saw something. You were right for it.
Really quick, yeah. And you know, like Dunkirk, for example, was like 7 rounds. It went on for months and months and months.
Oh my God.
And this one was kind of like overnight.
That's more than most movies take to film.
Yeah.
We have a ton of audience questions. I'm going to get through as many of these as we can. The first one is Valerie from San Antonio. Where are you at, Valerie? She's right here in the front. Besides being an actor, I know you also love music. What are some songs that helped you get into Aegon's character?
Oh God. I mean, I have a playlist, a full Aegon playlist. I might make it public at some point.
Please.
But
Nirvana?
What?
Is there Nirvana on there?
Yeah, a bit of Nirvana actually. Yeah, of course. Oh God, there's so many. It depends on what day it was and what mood you had to be in for those scenes. A lot of Rachmaninoff, and then on the flip side, a lot of Eminem. So that's the range we're talking. It's just all dependent on what the scene needed. I think.
You got any more recommendations for Tom?
Nope.
Some 9 Inch Nails? Early?
Sure.
I think
Stiff Little Fingers. No Stiff Little Fingers.
I don't.
Oh, like punk.
Really?
80s punk stuff. Yeah.
At the drive-in? Look up At the Drive-In.
Okay.
The Texas punk band.
Oh, you need to write these down for me.
I will. Alright, if you guys got more, call out later. Sleepwalking what?
Who the hell are those guys?
Alright, are there any stunts, no name here, now are there any stunts you did that were memorable, or did you mostly have a double?
This is venturing into spoiler territory, isn't it?
Let's just go with season 1 or Dunkirk.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I tend to do my own stunts, and then injure myself in the process.
On Dunkirk?
On everything I've ever done. Yeah.
But you're okay with that?
I like it. It's part of the process. Yeah.
Right?
Throw yourself in. Be committed.
Did Chris Nolan say anything about you doing your own stunts? Is he against it, or did he have issues with it?
He was happy for me to fully invest in the character.
So I just read a story about Glenn Powell. He was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And I forgot he was in it. There's a scene where Tom Hardy, he they're in the Wall Street building, he shoves Tom into a keyboard desk, and then he slams Glenn's face into the keyboard. It was supposed to be playful. Tom Hardy really slammed Glenn's face into the keyboard, and he went to Chris Nolan and said, I got hit. And Chris was like, all right, well, go see the medic. And that's it. But he enjoyed it too. It's part of the process.
It is, of course it is. Yeah. Throw yourself in.
All right, Monique. Where's Monique? Back here. She would like for you to say Dracarys.
Really? Dracarys.
We're just going to do that for the rest of the panel. I think that's what we're going to do here.
Get Tom to say words.
Okay. Can you please talk about, well, no you can't. This, we haven't reached that yet. It's the end of the first episode, but it's too close, Thank you for trying.
I want to keep my job, guys. Don't make me give spoilers.
So we saw a bit of this. Aegon in the first episode, sort of having a drink with his buddies when he's not doing anything. But what else would you think Aegon would do on his day off?
Oh, I dread to think. They're getting in all sorts of trouble. But wearing a cloak so no one can see was him. He'd be down in Flea Bottom, wouldn't he? Going to the brothels and just getting stuff. There's kids around, so I've got to be careful.
No kids, right?
Yeah, there's a few kids. Let me see, quite a few kids.
They're hiding the kids. They're not there.
I know, right?
Let's see. From Becca. Where's Becca at? Right back there. What is the most rewarding part of joining the A Song of Ice and Fire TV family? And she calls you King Aegon, the Magnanimous.
The Magnanimous, that's really stuck, hasn't it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, I'm using this for the panel.
Yeah. I'm not sure Aegon fully knows what it means. So he's just rolling with it.
Nobody else does either.
Yeah. Now, the most rewarding part, I think, just being able to bring a story like this to life and being able to step into the skin of somebody like Aegon. Especially as it feels now he's an integral part of the storyline. He's such a complex character to play. It's very creative and fulfilling from an acting perspective. But equally, being on set with all these amazing creatives and heads of department, every single corner of that room, there is a master of what they do. As the actor, you really get to turn up and benefit from their genius, really. So I guess that.
Going back to your first day on set, do you remember it? And what do you remember from walking on the set of House of the Dragon that first day?
The first day I was on set was actually the coronation scene in season 1. So that was a baptism of fire. Hundreds and hundreds of people there. I've suddenly got a crown on my head. And that was daunting. And Ewan, who plays Aemond, had, unbeknownst to me, asked them to play the Game of Thrones theme tune as I'm walking down the aisle. Ridiculous.
It's fitting. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but I couldn't stop smiling. Then that started playing, I was just smirking. Like, oh, you're not meant to be happy. That's my first day.
I love it. You've been lucky enough to be a part of these massive productions. Like Dunkirk's probably one of the most massive productions of all time. Are they comparable? What do you notice on what it takes to sort of manage productions on this scale?
I think you can't really get caught up with the size and scale of something. Otherwise, I would anyway. I'd scare myself, and I wouldn't turn up to work. I wouldn't get in the car in the morning. So you just have to treat it like any other job. It's amazing that I'm very lucky that I've been able to experience a machine like House of the Dragon, like Dunkirk, like the projects I've done where it feels like there is so much attention to detail and there's no expense spared. It's a dream for an actor to be able to be a part of something like those things. yeah, but not to think about it too much, otherwise you terrify yourself.
I get that. That's what I do here.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it. There's nobody in front of me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you have a prop from the show that you've kept, or do you have one in mind? And again, nobody's recording, right? We don't want you to be able to see this.
No, I haven't kept anything because it'd be nice to go back at some point and not be fired for stealing. But yeah, there's a couple of things. There's a few things out. I've got sticky fingers, you see. Anything that's sort of straight in my pocket. But yeah, I'm keeping my mouth shut on that. You're like, oh, yeah, we'll see.
You're too far in. They can't get rid of you now. Not.
Well, we'll see. Yeah,
We'll see about that.
too soon.
Let's talk about Dunkirk a little bit. What is it like getting that call that you're going to be on a film with the Christopher Nolan director?
Yeah, very overwhelming. That was my first job. First job as an actor. I was still at drama school. I was 21, and I was offered the role. I had to leave drama school early to go and do it. Yeah, I was learning how to be on a film set on that job. But Chris was really open to the idea of me learning throughout the process, and the other actors were very patient and accommodating. And yeah, I mean, I was trying to be a sponge as much as I could, because it's not often any actor at any point in their career gets to sort of experience a set like that. So, and I was very aware of that. I really wanted to be present, focus on the task at hand. Yeah, it was a lot.
Being a sponge is actually kind of part of my next question. What is something that you took away, something that you did absorb, or something that you carry on with you, when you're doing other projects, learning from working with Christopher Nolan on that set?
Ignore everything around you. Ignore all the fussing around, all the wires, all the lights, the cameras, everything. It's all, the electricity happens between you and the other actor, and that's what pops on the screen, and that's what brings people in. I think when people are too kind of aware of the situation as an actor on a film set, it loses some sort of magnetism. And the best actors I've worked with are just people who are completely present and are able. It's like you're being on stage with them. It's a real sort of connection there. That's really exciting to play with and sit with.
Absolutely. Before we go on, the Batman movie I referenced was Dark Knight Rises. Just want to correct myself, because some of you guys are like, who was in that movie?
I didn't want to say anything.
What do you notice about his style of directing that kind of separates it from everyone else?
Chris's.
Oh yeah.
He's a visionary. He's somebody who thinks about every single aspect of every single frame. I mean, a film like Dunkirk, there were so many moving parts. There were Messerschmitt planes, Spitfires, huge battleships, and all of them needed to be. He'd paint the picture of the frame, get everything perfect, time all the entrances and exits of the planes, and then at the last moment, get the actors in quick, and then we'd do the scene that we needed to do. And it was a work of art, watching how he would piece everything together. And all of his team, his amazing team around him, who he trusted wholeheartedly to coordinate everything perfect. It was just, it was like clockwork.
You see yourself maybe being a director one day?
Yeah, I'd love to. Definitely not ready for that yet, but at some point.
I feel like you're on the way.
Thanks, man.
Lex, got a question from Lex. Where you at, Lex? I know this guy. What's going on, man? Did you watch the original Game of Thrones show? And if so, what was your favorite death? That's dark. Lex.
Nice. I hadn't seen Game of Thrones until being cast as Aegon, but then I thought I have to watch it. So I did, and blitzed the entire 8 seasons in like 3 weeks. And I think I came out of my bedroom, curtains closed. Favorite death? It's got to be Joffrey, hasn't it? It's got to be Joffrey.
That's a really hard question. You have a favorite episode?
Oh god, that's hard as well. Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely actually.
That was tense. Hard Home? Any Hard Home fans? One of my favorites as well. Ariel, where's Ariel at? Over here. What is it like to work with Emma on the show?
I mean, Emma's just an absolute gift to have on a film set with you. They are the most nuanced, fragile, and in the same breath, strong presence to have around. We don't have a great deal to do with each other at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I learned so much from them, seeing how they approach their work. It sort of drip feeds into me and others around.
I love that in the premiere, I didn't count, but it felt like she only had one line the whole episode. Is that correct?
I didn't count either, so I don't know.
Is that correct? And you watch it, and then once you kind of realize that, I think somebody mentioned it to me, I'm like, you know what? Oh my god, that is so powerful. She has one line the entire premiere of the second season, and it's just, I don't want to get it wrong exactly, but it's, I want Aemon, right? Yeah, just those 3 words, whole episode. And she's in half the episode, only one line. That's powerful.
Testament to their presence and their sort of power on screen. Every moment is so filled and detailed, and they don't need dialogue to translate that. That's a real skill.
I have a question here from Alexis. Where you at? Seriously? There you go. I'll change this a little bit. Describing your and Ewan Mitchell's dynamic on set.
Our dynamic? We're both very different people, but we are very close friends. We share a lot of common ground in how we like to approach the work. We're both very involved with the characters we play. We kind of let it bleed into real life a little bit sometimes, which is kind of fun. I love Ewan to pieces. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a very gifted actor, someone who takes the job very seriously. But yeah, I'm a bit more I'm a bit more frantic on the set, and he's a bit more stoic. So we balance each other out, yin and yang.
I just want to say that. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of a speed run. You good with that?
Go for it.
Just quick, shoot from the hip type questions. Who breaks the most in the scene on the set?
Fabian Frankel.
Who's the practical joker of the cast?
Reese Evans.
Who's the singer on set? Who sings the most between takes or around when no one's filming?
Olivia Cook.
Who gets teased the most?
Teased. Fabian Frankel.
Okay, please tell us. Give us one story.
No.
I tried, guys. I tried. All right. Sarah's got a question here. Aegon says Aemon is loyal like a hound. What makes him think that?
Because that's genuinely what he believes. He believes that if he was to say to Aemon, I need you to do that, I need you to do it now, he would. Because he believes he would serve his king, he'd serve his brother. Targaryen blood runs thick in both of them, and I think, yeah, he respects that. He also knows that Aemon is similar to Aegon in terms of his desire to pursue the things they're passionate about and not to take no for an answer. So, yeah, I think he fully believes that. He is like an attack dog.
Yeah, like a mad hound. He's not been unleashed yet, I feel like.
No, maybe not.
Is there a chance we'll see that later on in the season?
I don't know, man.
I said chance. I said chance. Ewan, what is it like? Kind of. I know you talked a little bit about it already, but is it either him or like who do you kind of really appreciate working with back and forth? You learn from one another. You take things, kind of feed off their energy. Like who really likes working with on set?
I mean, it'd be wrong of me to choose one. I know that's what you want me to do, but it's that everybody is so good at what they do. I haven't ever worked with a cast this closely for this long amount of time. It's the job I've done for the longest period of time in total. And for it to be this group of actors that I get to share a set with every day, there's no better place to be. You take one thing from everybody. Everybody brings their own flavour to it. And, I mean, talking about Olivia Cook, she is sublime at what she does. Every single moment is full of stuff that she's worked on, things that aren't even in the script. She's just dredging up, and you can just see it in her eyes, and I feed off that. So, yeah, I think one of the key things as an actor is to always make the scene about the other person, because as soon as you put the attention onto them, you've lifted that third eye that you're watching yourself. You don't care what you look like. It's all about what the other person looks like. If that person's doing that to you as well, something's cooking. It gets really exciting.
How do you feel it? When do you know you kind of hit that part? Do you wait a few takes until you kind of feel that it's extremely working, or are you a little bit harder on yourself and you need other people to tell you, yes, it's going well?
I'm my own worst critic. I can't watch anything that I'm in, so I rely on the feeling when they shout cut to know if I've got it or not. And the way that I usually know is that I can't remember how the scene went. I can't remember what happened. So and that's a sign that we were totally present, and it's just kind of, it was a different sort of parallel existence for a short amount of time, and I go, oh, okay.
You lose yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. I know that sounds mad, but it's kind of the best way to describe it.
I think it sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
It feels like it's like real creating art, just in the moment, not thinking about anything. Just like you said, nothing else going on around.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Just in it, right?
Yeah.
Very similar to musicians, I think. There's some musicians that maybe rappers or just creators, rock artists. They kind of write, and whatever comes out is what comes out. They're in that creative process.
Yeah, and it's stream of consciousness almost.
Yeah, I really want to have that. Tell me how to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's one of those.
That's wonderful to hear. I really appreciate that. Allegra? Is that the right name here? Alegna. I apologize.
Yeah.
Alegna. How has it been to portray a character that is so complex, and what is your method to convey so many emotions through him?
Oh God. Just kind of roll with it. Me and Aegon are very different people, thank God. His rhythm is really quick, and mine's a lot slower. So the challenge to that is kind of to try and meet him there. It takes me a while to warm up to it, but yeah, when I'm there, it's exhausting. I have to sleep a lot when we're working. But yeah, I don't know. I guess just feeling free with it and not trying to push anything, just allowing the situation. And the writing is so good in this show that it does a lot of the work for us. It's already lifted off the page, and all we have to do as actors is just put the wig on and breathe a bit of life into the character. But yeah, just to make sure that you've got those little gaps in between where you can reset and gather your thoughts and not lose your mind.
You described a little bit about how you and Aegon are different. Are there any qualities of Aegon that are similar to yours?
Sure, yeah, totally. I think you have to find some similarities when you play any role. Regardless of what you feel about them, or the main target is to not to judge them. As soon as you start looking at them through a judgmental lens, you've widened that gap between you and them. some similarities for sure. I'm quite a shy person, and I find that when he isn't drunk and when he has responsibilities, he has to put on this kind of this character. The whole petition scene in episode 1, I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but there's a character there rather than him being himself. He cares about how he's perceived. I feel like I have to do that when I'm being myself in front of an audience. I have to kind of put a character on a little bit to feign confidence. Insecurities and all that stuff, get caught up, you know, we all have them. Yeah, there's definitely similarities.
In the premiere, going back to last Sunday, Sir Otto is correcting you a lot. He's having his own frustrations with how Aegon is sort of going through his kingly duties. Is Aegon taking them to heart because he wants to try and do well, or do you think part of him doesn't need to be told what to do?
I think Aegon thinks he knows best, for sure. But equally, he's obsessed with the idea of not being seen as weak by anyone, by the small folk, by Rhaenyra and her tribe, by anyone who looks at him, who's aware of his existence. And with Otto undermining him constantly, not only in the petition but around the small council as well. Yeah, there's a certain amount of patience he has for that, I think. And we'll see how long that continues to last.
Not very long.
Yeah.
Got a question from Sabrina. Where's Sabrina at? Right over here. She got real excited. Westeros is known for being divided into good and bad people. Everyone is one for themselves. Does Aegon consider himself good or bad in spite of that? And what do you think he is misrepresented or full or villain? Oh, full of villainy.
Nice. I think Aegon is doing what he thinks is right. I think he's taking on his responsibilities because he's been given them rightfully. I don't think he wakes up in the morning and thinks he's a villain in any way, which kind of makes him more dangerous, I think, because he doesn't fully, he can't see the bigger picture. He's in an echo chamber of people around him telling him the same thing, and so you start to believe your own press when that happens, and I think that's what he's victim to. Yeah, I think he's just doing what he feels is right and pursuing it to the best of his abilities. He's learning on the job as well. He doesn't have a clue where to start. So he's working it all out, and you can see people losing patience with him as he's erratic. You've put a crown on a feral dog at the end of the day. And I don't know why people thought it would be any smoother than this.
It's not the worst king we've seen before, but yeah. Jenny also had a question. Where's Jenny at? Alright. Oh, there you go. Very similar than kind of what we've been talking about already. How do you feel playing Aegon II? But maybe if you just want to talk about something different, because I know you've already talked about how it is, but just more about this character. Maybe what first intrigued you about playing him?
Just his unpredictability was something that I wanted to tap into. Also his vulnerability as well. I think that's important to remember when you play someone like Aegon, who is quite volatile. To sort of dig into the causes of that behaviour, and that to me was interesting. I think to get into the psychology of it. Rather than turning up and being like a big bad villain, everyone's going to be scared of me. It's quite. I get bored pretty quickly if I did that, I think. So yeah, working out his vulnerability and seeing where his weaknesses are and how to conceal those.
We have any Damon fans in the house? Please tell us, what is Matt like on set?
Matt, the man is a dream. I love him to pieces.
He's a generous, kind, funny, incredibly talented actor that I have definitely learned a lot from, and can now call him a good friend of mine as well. He's full of great advice, and we have many a good night at the pub.
Yes, I love hearing that. What's his favorite type of beer?
He'd go for a lager. Oh, he likes a Guinness as well. We both do. I don't know. Well, it depends what day it is. Depends what temperature it is.
You're right. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. You and I spoke a little bit before. I know you're not allowed to say any details about the rest of the season.
Can you not see the red dot on my chest?
No, I can see it. But I love what you told me before about what we're in store for. So for all these folks watching right now, please tease us. What is in store for your audience for the rest of the season?
All I said to you was it gets tasty. That was all I said.
And I felt like that was the best description, and I'm already ready to go. You guys ready for the rest of the season? Tom, the premiere was absolutely fantastic. I was absolutely hooked, and I'm ready for the rest of the season. I have no doubt you, the cast, the showrunners are about to put out just an epic, all-time great season of television. We thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We cannot wait to see what happens. Or maybe, if it goes like the first episode, I maybe can wait, because I can barely hang on to that one. That was intense. I don't know about you guys, but it's going to be one hell of a ride from the sounds of it. Y'all make some noise for King!